what? We were pulled into a false reality that only filters and reflects based on personal bias through the projection of a shadow mind. This is very interesting and is a great bridge between what I'm going to talk about, or actually the comments section today is more important than this presentation. If you could hold off on commenting, that would be great. And I'm really going to work to clean up comments. This is about the comment section in terms of your craziest, most wildest explanation or theory as to what happened to reality. I'll tell you some of my crazy theories. Of course, I don't put all my chips on one number. I mean, a few different things may have happened. But if you could hold off on the comments, and anything totally not related, I am going to remove. Again, I don't want you to spend a lot of time and get upset at me. I'm being real honest, I'm going to remove non-related comments. The comment section's too important here. So what are we looking at here? Just throw a dart. In every single facet of society and culture, nothing is progressing. Everything is stagnant other than tech and smart devices, and where they want to move the human, quote, human being down into the realm of digital zeros and ones. Everything else is completely stalled out. It's unnatural and it's artificial. Go to Google and just type in stalled century and see what comes up as number one. You get this, I don't know what it is. It's an NFT, a non-fungible token. It's like a painting or a poster, but it's put together with digital images, and actually at the bottom you can play it, and each TV shows different things, and honestly, to me, what comes up on the TV is like nonsense. Just, you're not missing much if you don't play it through. Some music and different conspiracy slogans on the back, and there's a for uncanny deduction, there's a clown in front. So the point of all this is, first of all, I'm fascinated with this whole notion of non-fungible tokens. Somebody can sell this for $1,000. Of course, anybody can just recreate it, but you have the non-fungible token saying you own the original. But anybody else in the world can just take it and get it, and they have the same thing. But you own the certificate of authenticity. It is weird. Look at the description. We were pulled, okay, it's called Stalled Century. Description. We were pulled into a false reality, a dimensional mirror that only filters and reflects based on personal bias through the projection of a shadow mind. What? Like this guy thinks like we do. But is everybody starting to think outside the box because things are just so strange? We were pulled into a false reality, a dimensional mirror that only filters and reflects based on personal bias through the projection of a shadow mind. So I want to talk about the different scenarios that might have happened to reality itself to create this situation that is just more mind-boggling than anybody could possibly imagine. But then if you could hold off in your comments and just, and I'm not asking you to really say what happened, or I'm not almost asking you to come up to say, what's the craziest thing that possibly could have happened that you believe is still on the table? So I guess that's a better way of putting it. What's the craziest possibility that you still keep on the table, even if it's even not your primary explanation as to what happened to reality? Because I get the feeling one of the crazy explanations is going to be close to the truth. The explanations that neatly fit in between the reality bookends, they don't work anymore. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, with which I'm no expert, but the core principles are pretty simple. Somebody dies, 49 days of the journey of the soul, spirit, and mind before another reincarnation into a body. 49 days. And the idea is, of course, almost very few people in Buddhism, or almost nobody, can, during these Bardos, break free. Of course, I'm not putting this exactly right. I'm no expert at the Tibetan. I didn't spend those 7 years in Tibet. It doesn't matter. These basics are pretty sound. You have 49 days to get through all the illusion. The demons come up, and your mind is pulled this way and that, and you're lost in illusion, and you have to get through it if you ever want to get out. And if not, back into a body. What I did several thousand of these. It don't matter. Back into a body. That's Buddhism. 49 days. Why 49? Why not? I don't know. I didn't spend those 7 years with Brad Pitt, that little Dalai Lama who wanted to play with Tonka trucks. I don't know. But I've thought about this and like, wait, we have to, in order to have any clue of understanding what's going on, you have to throw out everything we know. I'm pretty sure of this. Back into a body. What? We were pulled into a false reality that only filters and reflects based on personal bias through the projection of a shadow mind. What? Back into a body. What? Back into a body. So this is life. No, throw out everything. This is between lives where we are, or this is death. Just reverse everything, throw out everything you know. Again, if you're not, well, I'm not Buddhist, it doesn't matter, it's the principles. Remember what that non-fungible token said. You know, we were pulled into a stalled century or a netherworld or a dimension off to the side. You died or I died or there was a cataclysm and we're in some sort of Bardos, which is the period between realities, you could put it that way if you don't want to believe in reincarnation, etc. Maybe it is 49 days and it just appears to us to be year after year after year after year. Howdy Mikoski's like, we're probably the same year, but all of time is all screwed up. Maybe it is 49 days. Everything's just so off here, it doesn't make sense. Never read huge tomes about the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The monks, they will kind of pray over the body and with the family and friends talk to the body, will talk to the spirit and say, you know, dead spirit, you're in the Bardos right now. You're being presented with false reality. You need to be able to see through the false reality. Demons will come and you'll be scared and succumb to fear. And if you don't want to reincarnate back into a body, you've got to, you know, listen to me. Well, it would have been better if the person listened while they were alive. The monk is talking to the dead body, but that's what they do. They talk over the dead body and say, you can get through this. It's not like how to prepare for the Bardos when we die, how to prepare for right now. After you wake up in the Bardo, after death, steady your mind. This is difficult because we have a shifty mental body that darts around at the speed of thought. With a measure of stability, we can apply our meditations and attain liberation. This is why meditation is such a powerful preparation for death. The momentum of practicing meditation will automatically kick in during the Bardos and take care of us. By practicing now, we are using the power of karma or habit in a constructive way. Perceive everything in the Bardos as sacred and realize it's all the play of your mind, okay? Perceive everything in the Bardos as sacred and realize it's all the play of your mind. Don't grasp or struggle. Relax into the innate purity and goodness of wherever you are, or whatever you see. Rely on the confidence you have developed with your meditations. It is said that the confidence actually becomes your body in the Bardos, a body you have strengthened with the exercise of meditation. Remember remember that everything is exaggerated in the Bardo. This means that hesitation, the opposite of confidence, can flap you around like a flag in the wind. Don't be angry or afraid. See everything as illusory, like a dream. Remember that everything is exaggerated in the Bardo. This means that hesitation, the opposite of confidence, can flap you around like a flag in the wind. Everything is exaggerated. What you are experiencing is an illusion. The demons that come up, all the complex confusion. But that is our biggest issue. Don't fall for the illusion. Don't take its bait. So remember that everything is exaggerated in the Bardo. You want it exaggerated. Everything, let's just say this person is an absolute accurate statement, 100%. Then that is the best evidence I've ever seen that we're in the Bardo. That is one of the defining characteristics of this false reality, everything becoming an exaggeration. It does relate back to stalled century. Stalled century, to a degree, is like an exaggeration. It's exaggerated out where everything gets worse, but tries to mimic, what once was. The new Star Wars, it's easy for us to say that it was made bad on purpose for various different reasons, but if we are in like the stalled century non-fungible token, we're pulled into some side reality, or we're in some sort of Bardo. The last three Star Wars are going to be bad because it will be a reflection of the reality itself that we've been pulled into, if you see what I'm saying. I don't even understand really what I just said. I don't expect you to understand that, but it's an exercise in thinking big. Star Wars, that when it was good, even if you're not believing we're all dead in the Bardos, you could say, well, there was incredible, the way the reality does business, there was incredible truths in the original Star Wars, like Yoda in number 2. Afraid, are you? Afraid? Don't be afraid or angry. I sense much fear in you. That was bad, but the cave. Remember your failure at the cave. Sounds better. I don't know what's going to come out sometime when I try to do this horse shit. Maybe there's, these keepers of the Bardos. Is that what the minions are? The keepers of the Bardos? The demons of the Bardos? To convince you that everything's normal. There's nothing wrong with this reality. And maybe, so maybe there's a version, because the keepers of the Bardos like their mockery. There might be 2 versions of this. And all the insiders come into Quentin Tarantino's house for a private showing in the basement, and Melvin P. And they all come in, and they have a whole completely different scene here. And John Travolta says to Samuel Jackson as demonic keepers of the Bardos, and to keep the people fooled into thinking the reality is completely normal, completely real. The difference is between this reality where all these dummies are, the Bardos, and the old reality we took them from after we shifted the whole reality off to the side during 9/11 2001 Space Odyssey. The difference in realities are? What? It's a little differences, like little differences like what? Like the Mandela Effect, where Australia's moved 1,000 miles north. That ain't a little difference. Well, you can go into a movie theater in Paris, you can get a glass of beer. Maybe there's a whole scene where Quentin Tarantino shows his insider demonic minions, the keepers of the Bardos. I know I'm getting stupid now, guys, but because we're never going to survive, Lucille says, unless we get a little crazy. The regular explanations don't work. It's this weird shit. Eventually we'll come up, we'll hit on it, and they'll say, wait, that's it. That's what's happening. You know, whether we're in the Bardos or not. It's the weird way out explanations that are going to be closer than any bullshit that fits in between this reality's demented bookend. Okay, in terms of the comments, my presentation here was too much focused on, hey, maybe we're in some sort of 49-day Bardo that feels like years or whatever. Time does not move the same here. That I was probably too focused on that, but I have other explanations as to what potentially happened, and I'm sure you do too. There are hundreds of other potential explanations. You know, there's a lot of smart people that were like, just like the person with the non-fungible token alluded to. Yeah, that ritual magic, it took us off the timeline. It inserted all real souls and spirit into some netherworld broom closet reality off to the side. It took us off the original timeline. I mean, there's a whole sort of things I would keep on the table related to 2001 7/11 A Space Odyssey event. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, what was that for? And then, so matter, you know, again, I'll look at your comments and hopefully we come up with 100 different permutations of strange explanations that make sense, more sense than anything that could fit in the bookends. But for any one of these, you can have a ton of fun with it. You know, if anybody wants to just continue and get stupid, the video's basically over. But, you know, the certain dark creatures off in the astral, they're not even, they have so many things to corrupt. They're not even paying attention to the big day in 2001. Like little George Soros has to run up and knock on the door, like, pop, 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 pop. Who's it? Oh, it's little George. George, did it work? Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked beautifully.
We moved the entire reality off to the side into a netherworld and broke them off original timeline. And the beautiful thing is, no one noticed. Maybe George Soros does talk like that behind closed doors. I don't know when he likes to role play with whatever he likes to get jiggy with. I don't know. But, you know, and no one noticed. But there's this group of, it's like us and the, what's the damn Scooby-Doo, the Mystery Mobile. There's these meddling kids. There's these meddling truthers, these real spirits and souls that they can see. They're seeing through the ruse. Okay, these meddling kids, can they upset our plans for that reality we just moved off to the side? We don't think ultimately they'll have the power to wake up everybody else we're putting into a sleeping coma. Anyway, guys, sorry to get stupid, but sometimes it's necessary. What? Back into a body.